this is the speech spread out across maybe 3 minutes. He says, I can't see my city, but I can feel it. The system isn't working, and it's rotten, corrupt. But this is our city, not his. And we can take it back together. The weak, the strong, all of us. Resist, rebel. I was thinking of, Rebel Moon. Rebuild.
Rebel.
Because we are the city without fear. Which is, I don't like that line at all. The city without fear. Get out of here. Stop it. You know how hard Daredevil worked to get the line without fear? That took 3 seasons for them to get to the point of essentially saying the man without fear. And here it's like, oh no, this is the city without fear. Nice. And there's nothing he said here is interesting. City's bad, but we're gonna fix it. City without fear. The city that majority voted for Fisk.
Yeah, it's like what Matt should have said was, listen, the leopards are eating your face. Too bad, get over it. See you in 4 years, assholes. You'll be this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for.
Like, I'm so glad to let you wallow in the mess that you made. You're screwed. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
You voted for Wilson Fisk.
So
what
crazy.
Did you think was going to happen?
All gone wrong.
But yeah, that's we do. That's the end of the episode. But we have a post-credit scene. Fisk is sitting in his cage like a bird, and there's an evil cop whom he pretty. Oh, not
He's
Fisk.
a bird in a cage.
Frank.
I'm just imagining Fisk in like a bird cage, just sitting there on the little.
In Fisk's subterranean lair, Frank is there, and he coaxes this evil cop into shaking his hand pretty effortlessly. He's like, "Hey, buddy, want to shake my hand?" And then he does, and naturally, Frank grabs it, breaks it, steals the keys, and escapes.
That's it.
How does this happen?
Wait, are you saying you're saying that Frank was able to get out of the little cage?
Yes, he was. So why was he even in there? Why'd you put him in there so that he could then break out of it? Oh, did you not know about this?
I think he's
Did you not see the post-credit scene? Or are you
fucking around or not?
No, I mean about the quality of the cage.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah. But yeah, he's out. What's the point of having Frank get captured to then just escape right at the end of the episode anyway? In a really stupid way.
I thought they were
like,
obviously doing a thing of like a mission in the first portion of the season 2 will be Daredevil saving him, but no.
That's not. I think it's as simple as they wanted the whole like, you're a bunch of clowns. They wanted that scene, and then they're like, yeah, but we can't keep him in there because we gotta have, Frank doing shit. So it's like, yeah, get him captured so that he can have that scene, then just get him out straight away. And of course, this all relies on them not executing him, which, Fisk might feel compelled to do. But no. That's it.
Well, that's the other thing, right? It's like, why is Fisk keeping any of these people alive? And we know he does this kind of thing because he's a moron. But just like with the police commissioner, just like with everybody else, why even keep the vigilantes alive? What do you gain from chaining them up? They're obviously going to escape and cause you trouble. So you just ripped a guy's head in half. Kill them.
Nah, because then you'd lose them and you can't have them again. So can't do that.
There we have it.
That's the end, by the way. That's the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 1.
Yeah,
I hate this show,
it's not
man.
that great.
I hate it so much.
This is really bad.
It's made me the most annoyed and miserable out of the Marvel slop. Well, I guess since Deadpool and Wolverine, but this has annoyed me more than that. I know I was gonna think it's like, has it been a while? It's like, no, it was less than a year ago. But this probably annoys me more. Because, of course, I really like the Deadpool movies, but I am a particularly big fan of the Netflix Daredevil series, and this basically just takes a giant shit on it. It's really annoying, really, really stupid. It doesn't have anything worthwhile to say at all. It's just like a complete flanderized bastardization of a much better television series. And it's the clearest evidence that there ever was that there is absolutely no reason to ever expect that a Marvel project will end up good. You should never go into it expecting that it will be good. You should obviously be open to the idea that you could be pleasantly surprised, But at this point, the precedent is insane. And the conclusion to be drawn is that there is essentially no cope that you can rely on that will actually make it better. The Sam Raimi cope didn't work for Multiverse of Madness. The Ryan Reynolds, like, producing and Hugh Jackman cope didn't work for Deadpool and Wolverine. The, well, hey, it's, you know, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are involved, and it's a continuation there. That didn't work for this. Nothing, there is no escaping the Marvel sludge. It's like a black hole that consumes everything that it gets. And I find it so fucking fascinating that, you know, what, however many years ago, like 8 years ago, people were actually cheerleading for, like, the biggest fucking merger in the entertainment industry of the acquisition of Fox. Because, like, yeah, now we'll get Fantastic Four and X-Men. And now what it's going to look like is that those are going to get ruined too. Except now there's, like, no other studio, which, you know, every studio's got their problems, but, like, there's no means for any of these projects to escape the essentially toxic, like, Marvel constraint that seems to just, like, ruin artistic creativity. Like, it ruins expression, it ruins storytelling, and, like, destroys art. And this is just the latest casualty. This is the latest one. And then there'll be a second season, and people will think, oh, well, maybe this one will be better because it's these new showrunners who made the worst episodes of this season. And
everyone they hire is incompetent. They can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. They have to hire the shittiest writers imaginable. Over and over and over
Of course,
again.
now the fun part is, now I'm not going to pretend that I was really a fan of any of the other shows, but now you guys can get ready for the other characters to get dragged through the mud and get ruined. You can probably expect that Jessica Jones will get brought in and will probably have damage dealt to her story. Now, of course, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but if you are, you should expect that's probably going to happen. Maybe they'll get Luke Cage and then they'll ruin him as well. Maybe they'll bring in, I don't know as many people care about, like, Danny Rand, but maybe they'll bring him in and then deal damage to him as well. Of course, there's more potential to deal damage to Matt, to Fisk. Vanessa's gone. Karen is in a bad place, even with the little amount of time that she's had. And of course, I think it would be safe to assume that they're probably going to undo Foggy's death. Which there was plenty of hope that was going to get undone here, but it'll be undone, which of course deals damage to even the payoffs that this show tries to have. But like any character that could be brought in, it's just more potential for a character that you like to be destroyed. But of course, the easiest thing that you can do, this shit ain't canon. There are the 3 seasons of Daredevil, and unfortunately, you kind of have to include Defenders as well, which is not very good. It's not like this though. But that's it. It ended. They were happy. They founded Nelson, Murdoch, and Page. Everything was great. They lived their happy lives after that as good friends doing good deeds, and none of this happened. This is not canon. This did not occur. This show is it's not even a delusion, because a delusion would then be rendered canon as like a horrible nightmare. This just didn't happen.
Well, you believe delusions.
Yeah.
This is just like, on its face, obviously not canon. This is somebody else's fever dream that I'm somehow privy to.
And you just gotta stop.
By the way, you said you liked one episode? No, one scene.
No, one scene. We liked the scene with Matt and Frank.
They fucked up.
Remember, that was the Leroy episode. That one sucked. That was a crap episode.
Yeah.
But that was the one worthwhile scene. There's really, like, it's getting really annoying because it almost seems like comical to be like, what? So you're saying like all of these Marvel projects are actually like pretty much as close to being completely worthless as possible, but you can't even hone in on specific major points of praise or points of praise that will, have significant caveats. It's like, no, man, this is an unprecedented streak of like some of the worst storytelling I've ever seen in my life. I cannot believe how many times that they have failed to just tell like a 5 out of 10 story. I can't believe that in like 20 attempts, they haven't even been able to make like Iron Man 2. I can't, it's insane. It's insane that it's so consistent. And then it's consistently applied to a variety of different franchises, that DC couldn't make a single thing that was worthwhile, that Star Wars, with the exception of Andor, has been horrible for the last decade, that Jurassic Park is getting dragged through the mud, that we're now getting all of these terrible live-action remakes of these, like, animated classics, and now it's going to be extended to the likes of the DreamWorks films. And then you add on top of that, Minecraft's movie on track to become the most successful, like, video game adaptation of all time. Like, oh yeah, this is a great time. Yeah, this is a real exciting time for the film industry. It's just like, it's whatever.
You
Don't
think they would
watch it.
fuck up and make like a good show?
and make something
Like
good.
they would somehow mess up.
It's like you just
It
said.
seems like
They fucked up a bit
it
of good
seems
seed.
intentional.
That's the most we get.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You would think that they would accidentally make something that was worthwhile.
They
Nope.
accidentally hire someone competent or somebody just like law of averages. There's someone out there who at least gives a little bit of a shit, you know?
Nope. But
I
hey,
guess
don't worry.
not.
Jurassic World Rebirth will be good. Fantastic Four will be good. Superman will be good. Yeah, sure. How to Train Your Dragon remake, that might not end up being so bad. What other shit's coming out this year that's gonna suck? What else is there? What other sludge is getting made this year?
We've got the other
that
half
people,
of Squid Game season 2 to have as
Well,
well.
I mean, I
Oh,
hope
God.
that's okay. I really hope that ends up being fine, but I'm not optimistic, I gotta tell you.
At this point, I've got my fingers crossed for okay.
That would be nice. That would be nice to get a film that's like, oh, that's fine, or a TV show that's
it's
like,
okay.
it's all right,
That's all right.
But
Some
nope.
good stuff, some bad stuff.
I don't know. I'm just getting a little bit tired of it, and I think the thing that again needs to it's an important reminder, like saying that this stuff is great, and like and then it getting now, of course, in the case of Daredevil, the viewership ain't great, and that's going to have a big impact. But like, it really is like not a good situation to be in, that it takes a while for everybody to essentially kind of realize like, oh damn, that wasn't very good. Because the feedback that is most important is the feedback that's happening right as it's coming out. How people are feeling at it at the time and what things they're saying about it, particularly when this show, the second season has already entered into production. The positive feedback now, instead of the accurate negative feedback, means that the changes can't be implemented. It means that season 2, they will push forward with the belief that they had done all of this right, particularly with the new episodes that they've done. So, why would you expect that season 2 would be better? Like, actually being, like, accurate, precise, and like, essentially realizing a little bit quicker that none of this stuff is working and is actively, like, destroying the stuff that you enjoyed that came before is, like, an essential component of trying to essentially encourage and incentivize good art. The cycle of it getting praise at the only time that it matters, which is when it's coming out and when it's got its greatest potential to make money, only to eventually realize, oh shit, that wasn't very good. It's like, cool, this just perpetuates the cycle of sludge.
Do you think the low viewership will have anything to do with that at all? I mean, I'm thinking, say, like The Acolyte, for example, which was excessively praised by lots of people. Also criticized by a lot of people as well, to be fair, but its viewership was the thing that sort of canned that. I mean, any chance that the viewership will speak a bit more loudly than what you should bake in at this point, a dishonest or blind people kind of praising it at the beginning?
I think I agree with Mola that I would be surprised if I got a season 3. The viewership is like not good. Like it's notably bad, and not in a way that's very easy to sort of pretend that it's not. Because that happens plenty of the time. Not only will companies do it, but even the viewers or the audience will do it, right? Where they try to be like, yeah, 7.5 million, that's good. It's like, well, it's meaningless unless you put it in context. And 7.5 million over the course of several days, being notably lower than The Acolyte, which was a prominent failure, doesn't leave this in as good a place. I doubt this show cost $200 million to make. But I mean, how are you going to justify spending on something that started off in a bad place, and it's not a perfect metric to judge it by, but if the Twitter engagement is any indication, show fell off, as they would say, relatively quickly, and that would be something that they'd recognize. And it's kind of a case of like, regardless of how season 2 does, it seems unlikely that it would do better. That's not usually the way that it works, and so if it's going to get worse, I don't see that they can essentially justify continuing to make like more seasons. So season 2, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the end. And I mean, what a disaster that was. A show that was so beloved and popular that like a fan movement to essentially get it back that took years, way longer than is typically the case for a show that gets revived. Daredevil season 3 ended in 2018. It's 2025. So it's been like 7-8 years since that managed to essentially revive it, and it's going to die in like 2 years. What a disaster. And nothing will be learned from it, because none of it never seems like the lesson that's taken away from any of these failures is, oh, those scripts got to get better. It's like, nah, it was the visual effects. Nah, it was like that we were talking about this hot button issue at the moment, and that annoyed people. Nah, it was because it released at a bad time. It's just bad writing. That's it. I know that, essentially you can say that there's plenty of bad things that have failed, but I do, and I would like to believe that people broadly are receptive to good or bad writing. I like to believe, in a sense, that you can point to a lot of the films that are universally considered to be the best. They hold up well, particularly when you're trying to talk about them with regard to internal consistency, thematic potency. They tend to hold up well, and I feel like that has to say something. But at the same time, I don't know, because I'm not even sure like how meaningful the engagement is with this show. How many people in 2 weeks are gonna say, "Man, I really want to rewatch Daredevil: Born Again. I'm really excited about watching the Bank episode with Miss Marvel's dad." Like, God, that was a really great filler episode that I'm super looking forward to rewatching. Meanwhile, how many people rewatch Breaking Bad with regularity? A lot of people. Feels like the mark of a good show is the kind of show that actually lasts rather than dying not only right after it ends, but even partway through. But, I don't know,
Well, hey, I got some good news for you because we got Ahsoka Season 2, some interesting, cool news. I think everyone's going to get excited for, but, calm down, everybody. Admiral Akbar
will return in Ahsoka Season 2.
I need you to read this. This is indistinguishable from a parody tweet.
It's real.
Admiral Akbar will return in Ahsoka Season 2. He will be going head-to-head with Thrawn. That's hilarious.
Nice.
It's just
yeah.
There's only so much you can get invested in, given that he's going to get flushed out of a window in a few years' time. So it's like, what is even the point?
He's going to be astro-defenestrated.
There will, by the way, to sort of add on to it, there will never, if Andor Season 2 is good, there will never be anything as good as that again from Star Wars for the next 10 years at least.
It was a fluke.
Maybe
it was
more.
The fluke. We should be fucking cherishing.
We should be glad we got
it somehow.
And that's assuming that Season 2 is good, which I really I need it to be good. I do.
Would be nice.
I need this one to be good.
If it's not, the next thing that's coming up is got to be one of the movies announced, right? So you've got Star Wars.
Oh, Mandalorian and Grogu. That's next.
Mandalorian and Grogu, and then Starfighter was the other thing that was announced, which is kind of mad to think as well that they got Ryan Gosling in. It's set 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker. The cinematic Chernobyl that is The Rise of Skywalker. Can't we just have a fucking exclusion zone around that?
I need to see the state of the galaxy. I need to see what the fuck is happening in this world.
But we should expect it will be great because it's directed by the guy who made Deadpool and Wolverine, which destroyed Deadpool and Wolverine and more.
It did. Took a giant shit all over that character in that universe. But hey, it was. Well, I was about to say it's funny, but it wasn't. But hey,
that's a good know. Yes, that is the that's how I feel right now. Is that Peepo there.
Yeah.